Restorative Circles is a place where we talk about issues and we come to make our society and community better.
Circles is a place where you can get your voice heard.
Restorative Circles in the process is to help kids talk and spread their feelings and let them know that they have a voice, and so they know that they're being heard, so they won't have to stay quiet.
Basically a community being together, learning ways to help each other.
Welcome everyone to our Restorative Justice Youth Council. Before we begin, let's just take 10 seconds to reflect on something good that has happened to us today.
I really see the positive impact on the youth, the staff, and overall environment here in a very short amount of time.
To me, restorative circles and the circle process means community. It gives everyone in the community a voice. It allows them to share experiences, to problem solve, and to learn to communicate.
Within the circle, we would like to support every student in there speak with respect. We like to be respectable in that circle. We like to honor the privacy of that circle as well. What's talked about in that circle stays in that circle, never leaves the room.
We have the talking piece as a microphone, and it gives everybody a chance to be listened to and to be heard.
This right here is our talking piece that we're going to use today. And this talking piece is symbolic because it gives everyone in our community an opportunity to express themselves. So when you have this talking piece, you have the ability to speak. When you don't have the talking piece, you have the ability to listen with your ears and also with your heart.
Circle process has helped me with a lot of things. It's helped me think before I act or say anything. It's helped me try to help others. I've been more confident in what I do and how I do things, and I like to do a lot of things to help others and help myself to better myself.
Teachers and staff report that students are more able to focus and get started on the day learning. So we find that it's been a positive thing, specifically at school. Our afternoon circles happen on the unit, and that is a time after school where the kids help to prepare the circles, setting up the chairs, preparing what's going to be said, and often running circles. They facilitate circles starting with a quote and walking the unit through the process. Staff support them, and at times staff also runs the circles process.
I'm going to start off with a quote, and this is by Michael J. Fox. Family is not the important thing in life, but everything in life.
Circles have changed the culture at CJTS in that I have an opportunity for me personally now to know more staff, to know more residents. I feel the residents feel respected. I think staff feel more respected.
Just to be open and honest within that circle. Those are some of the values and some of the guidelines.
It is a guide to help you with your past, present, and future throughout life.
If you can go back in time and change one moment in your life, what would that moment be? I mean, for me, I reflect and I go all the way back to my college days when I was a freshman. And one of the things I wish I could change about that is how I goofed off. I was acting out, I was running around, and I wasn't taking my education seriously. So if I could change that, that's one thing in my life that I would change. I'm going to pass the talking piece this way.
That I would change was the time that I got arrested.
And why?
Why would I change that? Because the day I got arrested when I was 12 was the day that everything went downhill. I was struggling with my behavior, but now my behavior has improved and it helps me cope with my anger.
Circles have changed the culture in many ways. Some of them I've noticed being that the youth are more open to talking about their feelings and problems they may be having. I've also noticed the staff have been more open to talking about their feelings and issues they may be having. And that whole process makes people feel like we're on the same playing field. And I think that is what's really making this culture good.
To me, restorative circles are really a supportive process where young men and staff communicate at a much different level than normally you would in a setting like this.
When you think about your life in 1 to 5 years, what would you like it to look like?
I see myself healthy and able to support my family, take care of my son, my mother, and those around me, and to just own up to all the things I've done.
Basically, me being the best father I can for my daughter, me and my wife being married, and having a wonderful, happy family, and just we all share love and take care of each other.
Have a nice job, starting maybe some schooling.
I hope that I'll be going to college at Mitchell College, getting a degree in botany, and hopefully moving out and making a better life for myself and my siblings.
My hope is that you guys feel like you're headed in the right direction in 5 years, that you're doing things that make you happy and healthy, and you're contributing to your communities at home. It's how we interact with the kids, it's how we communicate, and it's how we process issues.
It's about relationship building, it's about healing, it's about community. I like to have good relationships with people. But what relationships are important?
Relationships that are important to me is my relationship with my family, with my mother, my siblings, my father, my grandmother, everybody. And even people here, staff, peers included.
Work, whether it's staff or students, because if you have positive relationships with people, it just makes everything easier. We have morning circles, morning check-in circles in the school. I've seen the students come in if they've had a rough night, they've been able to communicate that. If they're tired, if there's something going on outside of the school, they can come in and share that, and it's just a really positive way to start the day. It kind of lets everyone know where the group is at as a whole.
Welcome Circles is a process where we're first getting to know the residents. It's also a time for them to get to know us.
I'm having a great day because today's Thursday and it's Welcome Circle Day.
We build a rapport, and it's also a good opportunity to start bonding with the youth.
This is an opportunity for you to hear from the ones who will be supporting you here. And at the same time, you have opportunity to ask us questions. Before we begin, I'm going to ask you a question. There are certain things, Juanel, that brought you here to the training school, things that you did on the outside. What are some things that you could work on here to where when you return back to your community, not only will it be an easier transition, but also you'll be able to remain in your community? So what are some things you could work on here, Juanel, that we can help you with?
Staying out of trouble, stop hanging around the wrong crowd.
It really teaches our young men how to use communication skills in lieu of, verbal and physical aggression to resolve conflicts.
I believe kids can change and do better for themselves and for others, and that's what it's helping me with. And now I think I can do better in life than what I was before. Now I care about how people feel and how I make them feel and how they make me feel. I address problems better, and it gives everybody a voice to be heard and exchange problems and solutions for it.
I feel these circles can be very helpful in bonding with staff and residents. It has helped me become what I am now, and it can help others too.
The circles that have been taking place around CJTS have provided a foundation and a framework that the youth can carry that over into the music therapy room. So the youth are able to bring up topics that they want to discuss. I bring in topics I might want to discuss, and it's been fantastic.
It's enabled them to be a part of the solution. So if there's an issue or there's a problem, instead of just complaining about it, now they're an active participant with staff. Their voices are getting heard, and they're able to come to the circle with solutions for these problems. And I think that kind of empowering our young men has made a difference in the community as a whole.
Restorative circles have helped me maintain and stay focused and express my feelings in a better and more positive way.
I want to change where I ended up doing the negative things I was doing to come here to CJTS, because it made me miss my daughter's birth, which is something I never wanted to miss.
So I plan to share with my daughter to help us communicate and make our relationships a lot better.
They've changed the outlook at CJTS by helping the resident deal with his issues with a community base behind him, letting them know that it takes a community to help restorative justice, and his input could be helped in here as well as the outside community.
Do you like trying different things, or do you kind of sit back and wait?
I like trying different things.
Okay, good, because we do offer a lot of different things here.
There's job opportunities for you. when you're out of school, on your downtime, working in the CAF, working with building maintenance, working in the art therapy as well.
In terms of clinical, I mean, you already know who your clinician is. Certainly any support you need outside of that.
Power Source is a clinical group that we run here at CJTS. We adopted this group after Circles and the restorative framework really took a foothold here at CJTS. It's geared towards at-risk youth who are in the juvenile justice system, who are in either secure facilities or residential placements or out of the community. And the premise is helping those students figure out how did they even get here. So the title of the Power Source is The Power to Choose. And what we try to tell the students is it's the power to choose a different path, a different life.
The trauma the boys have been through, the experiences they've had, and I think inevitably when you understand, you gain that understanding, I think self-compassion comes from that. And once there's self-compassion, there can be compassion for other people, and that's part of a big part of restorative justice.
A violation of the community requires a repair to the community. So it really shifts the focus on as a community as a whole rather than a sort of unconnected individual consequence for the kids.
There's a lot more benefits than I think initially the kids feel going into it. They can develop anger management skills, reduce their stress through mindfulness. There's a focus on substance abuse. There's a whole relapse prevention component to it.
What I especially like about this program is the emphasis on mindfulness. Mindfulness is the ability to pay attention and notice what's happening in our mind at any given moment. Our thoughts, our feelings, our urges, our likes, our dislikes. If we can help our boys learn this skill, to be more aware in this way, to be better observers of what's happening for them in the moment, it goes a long way towards helping them to self-regulate. And as we say, to respond to situations, not just react.
One of the biggest components of this program is teaching the students accountability. Accountability not only to themselves, but also the people they've harmed and also the communities that they come from. The biggest thing that we're trying to teach the students is that they can repair damaged relationships. And a lot of our students feel that they don't know how to do that or can do that. So once they can take accountability and accept responsibility for the things that they've done, that's the first piece. The second piece is teaching them that they can repair those relationships and have a hopeful and optimistic future.
We have an opportunity to share our hopes and wishes for the youth, and then also to kind of give an opportunity to reinforce some of the things that we learned here, or that they learned here in their time at CJTS.
I'm thankful to be part of the circle today, and as always, share time with you guys and continue to build our relationships.
I want to say one little quote. Don't give somebody a piece of your mind, give somebody the piece of your mind.
Coming together is the beginning, working together is progress, and staying together is success.
To me, restorative circles means loyalty.
It means hope.
Empowerment.
Community. Belonging.
I would say communication.
Connection. Hope.
Selfless.
Understanding.
Bonding.
Friendship.
One word that comes to mind is hope.
I'm the chaplain here at the Connecticut Juvenile Training School, and the restorative circles here have also been implemented in my spiritual life circles here at the training school. And I've seen phenomenal benefits from our students here. Our students now learn how to pray as opposed to using their fists or resorting to violence. The students have learned how to turn to reading the Bible as another alternative to help them to deal with their anger, their frustration, or any pain that they're going through. So within that group, I give our students opportunity to speak, communicate, and also understand how to develop a relationship with God. And one of the most amazing things that they have shared with me is that they now have a greater sense of hope, encouragement, and purpose, and a future, not only here, but when they return back to their community.